Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a kind of random. I came up with this video idea when I saw an ad. One second. Gonna let that traffic go by. You know how it is here. I saw an ad for a frizz-free hair mask. You may know the one that I'm talking about. And it kind of inspired me and made me think about how frizz-free products are marketed and just like how people get sucked into that, because a lot of people kind of have the mindset that one product should just take away their frizz, or even if it's multiple products. And I'm not saying that the ad that I saw was for a bad product at all. I just know how it can be. I had poofy, frizzy hair pretty much my whole life, and when I was a teenager, I saw a frizz-free serum in an Avon magazine, and I wanted it so bad, but it was like $20 or something, and that was a lot for a product back then, and also for how young I was, and I could not afford that. But I thought it would take away my frizz and help with my poofiness because that's what it said it would do. I'm gonna take a sip of my Zevia. I'm really a drink person, but especially when I'm filming videos, I just love to have something to sip on.
If that's you, go grab something before we get into this.
But I kind of wanted to make this video because maybe you're new to the whole world of embracing your waves or curls, or maybe you don't know that you have them. Honestly, we could just say curls for all the types. That would be my preference, but people want to take offense to that. So I usually say waves and or curls. But anyways, maybe you think that you just have frizzy hair and you want to change it or learn how to take care of it. I understand the feeling. I think that a lot of people have, learned a lot nowadays from the internet and social media, and a lot of people have discovered that they don't just have poofy big hair. But I know there's still people out there that maybe don't know that, so I hope that this reaches some of you guys. I thought that I was just doomed to an entire life of really frizzy, poofy, crazy hair, and I never even processed or imagined that my hair would have a wave or a curl to it if I used the right things. It didn't even cross my mind when I was growing up. I just assumed that if you had any kind of curl to your hair, it would naturally just come out on its own. And yes, while some people have that, we're not all blessed with that. I think that wavy hair is absolutely beautiful, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, when you know that you have curly hair because it comes out no matter what you do, it's easier to learn how to take care of it because you're not just left thinking that you have poofy big hair that nobody knows what to do with. Something I want to go over that I think a lot of us have learned, and we really need to understand, that it's not just about product. You can have 100 of them and still do your hair wrong. It's also about technique, the way that you're applying these products. Obviously, that's going to vary a little bit from person to person with different types of hair, but I do feel like there's a lot of basic techniques that work across all ranges of hair types because they're just what makes sense. Scrunching, for instance, that's going to promote any kind of curl or wave definition, especially if your hair isn't super curly. That's what you're going to need most of the time, especially if you are just starting out, because your hair isn't used to shrinking up in that kind of form, so it needs that extra help. Once your hair is more used to that and you've been taking care of your hair and it's extremely healthy, then sometimes it can kind of just bounce up on its own. But that takes time and it doesn't just happen right away for most people. And I'm not saying all that to say that products aren't important. Yes, of course, good products matter and you want to use things that are good for your hair. But there's so many other things that go into it and so many things to learn. There are a lot of videos out there from other people that can help you guys with learning how to take care of your hair and styling your hair. I personally have an entire playlist for wavy curly hair if you guys want to check that out. I'll have it linked up in the cards where it'll just pop up for you guys and you can click on that, and I'll also have it linked down below in the description box. I do have a step-by-step styling routine for beginners on there because I think that could help a lot of people out. I wrote down some things here, but I'm also kind of just saying things that I think about. This video isn't for product recommendations or anything like that. It's just to kind of help maybe educate some of you that are newer out there. I know that so many people that watch my channel have learned how to take care of their hair, but I know and I want to acknowledge that there's still people out there that are trying to figure it all out, which is totally okay. I'm still figuring things out. I don't know everything. I'm not a professional. I'm just doing what I have learned works for my hair and sharing with you information that I've discovered that works for other people's hair. I have a lot of friends and family that also have textured, wavy, curly hair, and I do have experience with it. I'm not a professional hairstylist, so I'm still learning things all the time.
I'm sure that professionals are as well. Anyways, I'm getting off track here.
And understanding, clarifying and masking and protein moisture balance and all of those things for your hair type is really important, but they're not things you have to know right away. They're things you can kind of learn as you go. I think what's really important and what makes the biggest difference for a lot of people is learning how to style their hair when they get out of the shower after they wash it. And yes, what you use while washing your hair matters too, but one of the things that does help a lot of people out there is not brushing out their curls after it's dry, especially, but even like after you get out of the shower and you've squeezed some of the water out of your hair, it really helps to just not do more detangling. If you're really worried about making sure that you don't get tangles in your hair and that's an issue for you, I would say brush your hair out either while you're conditioning and then like scrunch and squish to get all that conditioner in there and then rinse it out and don't detangle or brush after that. Or if you really, really need it, maybe you could detangle, like finger detangle, after you rinse your conditioner out. Then I would say once you squeeze your hair out again, try to leave it. And we always say squeeze it out with like a t-shirt or a microfiber towel. Don't use a regular towel. But again, that's not something that is going to make or break everything for most people. Like, it's not good for your hair long term, but I still think you can get pretty styling results if you know how to style your hair afterwards. Avoiding a towel just helps to basically reduce frizz and like long-term damage. Now, everyone is different, and for some people they want to brush out their hair after it's dry or in between wash days, and that works for them, and that's great. But a lot of us do have coarse or poofy hair, and it would just never work for us, especially if you're not using the right products in conjunction. Like, it just doesn't work for a lot of people. If you have really curly hair, you have really fine hair, maybe that works because your hair gets really tangled easily. I'm not here to say what's going to work for everyone, but if you have that poofy, frizzy hair that you feel like your hair just gets big and you have never really figured out how to avoid that, I think that not brushing it after it's dry is something that helps so many people, and it makes a really big difference, and it made a really big difference for me. So I did feel like it was important to mention that in this video because those are some of the big things. But like I said, I have so many videos on this. Other people do too. So if you're interested in it, definitely check some of those out. I'm not going to go over everything in this video. I just wanted to share this with you guys in case there's some people out there that, you're still trying to find the right frizz-free products. Like, I remember seeing John Frieda frizz-free products at the drugstore, and I'm not saying those don't work if you use them correctly, but I just assumed that I needed like some serum or something to smooth over my frizz and it would just take it away. But it wasn't just frizz, it was also poof, and I know that a lot of you deal with that. And it's not just, like I said, it's not just about product. Like, if you have frizzy, poofy hair, one hair mask or one serum and you putting that into your hair isn't going to just fix your hair, especially if you're not using it in the correct way or with the right techniques and other products. So hopefully this video reaches someone out there who needs it. Welcome to the curly community if you're new. Welcome to my channel if you're new. I would love if you would consider subscribing down below and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it or it helps you out. You can also check out my Instagram if you want to. It's linked down below in the description box. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. I don't want it to be too long and for me to keep rambling on forever, but I just wanted to sit down and chat a bit about this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.